Hey, welcome to Vegas Nonstop. Here's Jonathan Scott.
Thanks, Kimberly. And off camera, I'm going to introduce our guest, John D. Domenico, and Big Bob starting us off with a little something they've worked up called Take a Walk on the...
Donald Trump came from Queens, NYC.
So true, so true.
He lied his way across the USA.
The country's beautiful.
Got a spray tan on the way. Girl in a comb over is here to stay. He says, hey,
Take a walk on the dark side.
come on, baby.
I said, hey, take a walk on the dark side.
Lonnie came from the Eastern Bloc.
So true.
She was looking for a sugar daddy with a mushroom cock.
She loves it.
But she never lost her head, even when she was given it. And she says, hey, take a walk on the violet side. Come on, Donnie.
Take a walk on the violet side.
Over goes.
I'm very musical. I sang on Regis' Christmas album, did you know that?
I have a copy.
I was the Santa Claus.
We listen every day.
Sold millions of copies.
Even during Hanukkah.
Yes,
Poor Mike Pence had a chance that day.
he did. In one chance. He blew it.
Overturn the election or you'll pay. The cows here, pitchforks there, pitchforks there. DC is the place where they say, hey.
Take a walk on the dark side.
But mommy says with Christ,
Take a walk on the dark side.
true social.
Oh.
Seems like a lot of fun.
Take her to Twitter.
He's got a Stepford daughter and 2 idiot sons.
She's so hot. I wish you could date her.
Free speech here, insults there, propping up fascists everywhere. It says, hey, can you donate to the dark side?
Get your blaze
Do you need some money?
on the dark
Dark
side.
Top secret documents just walked away.
Why haven't?
Thought you could save them for a rainy day.
In the basement at Mar-a-Lago.
Good reading is hard to find. Who needs toilet paper to wipe your behind? It says, hey,
Take a walk on the dark side.
Is there a law?
On the dark side?
I think so. The whole world goes.
That's your stupid lyric.
Big Bob!
John D. Domenico, ladies
John
and
D.
gentlemen.
Domenico!
Cranston. Sounding great.
Big Bob Cranston.
Bless you,
Oh,
fellas.
this is
All right, so
very casual.
you may or may not know that this is actually a podcast coming to you from the Peppermint Hippo, that corner of Las Vegas Boulevard in Okie. And this is the Hippo Happy Hour. I'm Jonathan Scott, and this is our first guest, John D. Domenico.
So good
But
to be
but
here.
but for the sake of radio, and for
Yeah.
the sake of fun, we're going to do something that even though you're watching, podcast people are going to be listening.
Theater
so-
of the mind.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little round the clock, round the table panel discussion on New Year's resolutions from various characters that are with us in spirit.
In spirit.
But first we start the show with a toast. I don't know
Oh,
if you're
a
drinking.
toast.
But
Yeah, yeah,
Big Bob,
Well, I'll
of
do a
course, is
tiny bit.
starting us with a
Tiny,
little
Just
champagne.
a little, tiny, just a whiff of champagne.
We're having a bit of
This is our
Tentacion.
first show.
Yeah, so what is it?
We're
What are we
this is-
having, Bob?
We are
Because
having
you know-
Tentacion.
you
We've
know
had this.
liquor,
We've had
right?
this show on the, many times. We've had this on the show. It's our sort of house bubbly, $18.99 at every Lee's discount liquor store. Tentacion Parmo Caillou.
Blah, blah, blah.
Temptation, which
Yes.
means
The temptation, yeah, the temptation of Chateau Caillou.
Do you have a favorite?
And we're going to have Cyril Forget. He's going to be here in a few weeks.
You're kind of a toastmaster.
I'm kind of a toastmaster, but we're kind of a religious guy. God is meat, let's eat. But we have so we have to drink. Now let's make a toast to 2023. That everyone watching, everyone here has a healthy, happy, prosperous new year, and let's live life to the fullest.
Amen, brother.
Cheers.
Amen.
This is not a dress rehearsal.
That is
So again, you
true.
can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and of course on every social media channel there is. This is Vegas Nonstop, and this is the Hippo Happy Hour. I'm Jonathan Scott, and we're going to go over a few resolutions that maybe some of our famous friends have something to say about.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So
You know,
we're gonna
folks,
get
I
started.
hate to bother you.
Yes.
I'm going to be asking. It's odd because usually I ask all the questions, but this is I'm going to be asked the questions. so it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a little later on, we're gonna be talking with Pat Kupo.
one more thing. Am I getting paid for this?
Yes,
Oh, good.
Yes.
Fantastic. 'Cause
you're getting paid.
Mrs. Colombo hates when I work for free.
Just one more thing. I gotta ask you just one more thing.
One more thing.
We should actually have Pat jump in at this point and talk about Columbo.
Right.
And talk
I'll
about
have to
Peter.
circle back. We'll circle
We'll
back.
wait on Pat. We'll wait on Pat. Okay. So as Columbo, Lieutenant Columbo,
Yes.
you're an influencer. You're on a mission to normalize normal bodies. Everyone wants to be no more body shaming. So the focus is on passion and not the way you look. And you still want to find a better you physically. Is that the case for you, Lieutenant?
You know what? Jonathan, this is the perfect question for me. Because I never cared about how I looked. Ever. I've been wearing the same rumpled trench coat for 50 years. And my bad eye and the cigar and everything. But you know what? You gotta have a passion for what you love. And if that's your work or your hobby, that's the most important thing. Don't worry about how you look. Everybody's hung up on how you look and how you dress and the Kardashians. Who cares? Just be happy and be passionate. You'll feel a lot better, folks.
Okay, number 2, from Guy Fieri, Chef Guy Fieri. We had the pleasure of interviewing on our other show, On Air Education. Work out to feel good, not to be thinner. Instead of obsessing over the scale, obsess over how amazing you feel since you started being more active. Numbers don't mean much. Chef Guy Fieri.
Oh, I gotta tell you, baby, holy moly, stromboli, baby. Can you believe it? This is the question for me. I'm driving the bus to Flavor Town, and there's no more flavor than Las Vegas, baby. You know what? I always say that. Work out to feel good, not be thinner, because look at my food, man. My burgers are 3,000 calories. You want to feel good, and I gotta tell you, it ain't gonna make you thinner, baby. That's right. Love, peace, and tacos.
The mayor of Flavortown, Chef Guy Fieri. Okay, former president, Donald J.
Excuse me. I'm not the former president, all right? I'm the current president, all right? But don't blame me for anything that went wrong. Go ahead.
So
Do
you
your
started a
question.
new social network, so you stop
Truth.
gossiping.
Truth.
Stop gossiping. What
Stop
about that as a...
Well, you know what? I think it's absolutely horrible. These people who gossip. Many people have told me that I'm absolutely incredible. And the Truth Social is so much. I get letters. I get all these things. And, you know, I think I should be back on Twitter to make it fantastic again. But I think gossiping is bad. Many people say nasty things about Joe Biden. Did you know that?
No.
Did you know that? They say it all the time. They say Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. There's so much gossip. And I think you should gossip about him. Just don't gossip about me.
Okay, so the only bad hotel is a dump hotel, right?
No. If it's not a Trump hotel, it's a dump hotel.
I got it right.
And golf course.
Dr. Phil is with us as well. Give one compliment a day, Dr. Phil.
Hi everybody, it's me, Dr. Phil. I'm a relationship expert. I am a weight loss expert. I'm an expert on experts. And let me tell you, if you want your relationships to grow and stay romantic, the thing you have to do is tell whoever you're married to, whoever you're seeing, give them a compliment. Okay, I should know this. My new book is called I'm Okay, You're a Mess. That's the kind of compliment you want to give.
Okay, back from heaven, we have Regis Philbin on the panel. Go a whole day without checking your email.
Hello, folks. It's me, Regis Philbin. And I got a lot of stress in my life, and they're telling me not to check my email. And you know what happens when you don't check your email? You come back the next day, you've got 4 times as much email.
I don't know how Kelly Ripa hasn't aged at all.
She hasn't aged at all, and I look like hell. I'm dead.
Marlon Brando is coming back from the dead. Also, The Godfather. Do random acts of kindness.
I've been saying this for many years as the Godfather. Random acts of kindness is so important. You know, like my son-in-law, we took his head off. That's a nice thing to do if he's been beating your wife. You know, because and what did they do?
Johnny Russo?
Yeah, Johnny Russo. Johnny Russo. You know, he's there in Las Vegas. Do nice things for people. You know what I mean? Throw a toaster in a bathtub. It's so thoughtful. It warms the water up, if you know what I'm saying. Be nice to people.
And we have another doctor, not Dr. Phil, but Dr. Evil. Read a book a month?
Hey everyone, it's me, Dr. Evil. Yes, and I think everyone should be reading more evil books. There's too many self-improvement and management books. Read about being evil. $1 million.
So somebody that's been out of the limelight for quite a while now, but he's lost a bunch of weight. Ozzy Osbourne goes someplace you've never been.
Jonathan, Sharon! I want to come on your show because, you know, I have memory loss, and no matter where I go, it's a new place. You know what I mean? Oh, the dog pooped on the rug.
Wayne from Wayne's World, excellent! Clean out the clutter.
All right, excellent. Hi, everybody. It's me, Wayne Campbell from Aurora, Illinois. Swing. Okay, that's for your co-host over there. She's hot. She's like Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, you gotta clear out the clutter. My mom always comes down to our set and says, "Get rid of this stuff!" All right. I say, "Cool, Mom." Not.
Yeah. What? Dr. Bob. Big Bob's got something to play, but his amplifier's not on. Oh. Excellent! Wayne's World! Excellent! Is Larry King dead?
Larry King is dead. Hello, folks.
Still.
It's me, Larry King, dead. Coming to you, dead.
Turn off your phone
From
once a week.
heaven.
And his
Like
body,
Big
his
Bob.
body's at Nate Now's.
Yes.
His body is still in a booth
That's
at
a
Nate Now's.
delicatessen for those of you viewers, listeners that don't know. Nate Nails is a
Nate
delicatessen.
and Al's, where they have the good food that clogs your heart instantly. It doesn't take years. It'll happen in one meal.
Turn off your phone one night a week.
6 wives, 7 heart attacks. You know how I did that? I left my phone on all the time. I've learned my lesson. Turn your phone off, not one night a week, every single night. Unless there's somebody on the deathbed, like me.
Reduce your, let's say Dr. Phil, how do you reduce your waist? Not your waistline, but your waist.
Hey everybody, listen, I wrote a book on weight loss. It's so easy to do. But I want you to remember one thing when it comes to food. It doesn't matter how flat you make a pancake, it's got 2 sides.
Volunteer for something as, pick one. Trump.
Trump, listen, no one volunteers more than me. I practically invented volunteering.
No one was volunteering before I became president.
No one did. Now everyone's volunteering. I volunteer all the time. I volunteer to sink my ball. I volunteer to clean my butter. Now, these are things that you have to do. Believe me. Believe me.
Mr. President, what about stopping multitasking?
Multitasking is the worst thing in the world. Focus on one thing, like me, getting back into office. It's so important because it was stolen from me. It's so sad.
Call
It's
a
so
friend
sad.
instead of texting them.
Exactly. Call a friend. You know, I like to talk to people for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, especially famous people, because they listen and they know because they're smart. I'm a stable genius, but they love listening to me.
And don't buy things that you don't need.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Buy things you need. Don't need or do need?
Either one.
Either one. Either one. Spend money like I do, you know? Or if you don't want to do that, donate to me. We need a lot of money to overturn this horrible, horrible crime that we're dealing with.
Of course, that's our friend John DiDomenico, putting him on the spot with his many voices and traveling around the country and taking time out of his busy schedule doing corporate. Thanks for joining us. So is Trump your favorite? I think it's my favorite of everybody.
Yeah, I think Austin Powers my favorite, baby. Yeah! Stacey Groovy right on, baby. Shall we shag now or shag later? Let's do both.
Yeah, we missed Austin. We did Dr.
Yeah,
Phil.
I thought he was
I didn't see Austin on the
That's
list.
my mistake. That's my mistake. But I love Austin because I've done Austin in Bangkok, Thailand. I've done them in Germany. I've done them in Italy. And it doesn't matter where you go. And even though this film, the first film came out in '97, people see me in character from 50 yards away and they just smile. And I think it's one of those things where it's actually on the list, like the compliment. He just loves seeing people. He loves people, which I think is great. So when I play the character, I kind of get that energy back from people. And it's like, you look groovy, baby. Yeah, you're absolutely smashing. And it's such a great. I've said this to you before. Like Mike Myers is a genius. All of his characters, but this character kind of embodied something, and it's kind of transcended over time. But he's just something that people love. And there's fictitious characters. There's Elvis. There's
Elvis is
no,
fictitious?
they're real. But when you have a fictitious character that people absolutely adore, it's so great. And I wish he'd make the 4th movie, Mike. Get me through the next decade.
Oh, another Austin Powers?
No,
that they took?
they're not doing it, but he should make a 4th one.
And I've talked about this. I would love to do an Austin Powers party.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk to Shai Cohen over here at the Peppermint Hippo.
That would be awesome.
And have like a 1960s
Swinging, groovy time, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be shagging out.
So Austin's your favorite?
Austin's my favorite. You know, Trump has been amazing. I've been doing Trump since 2004, long before he was running or anything like that. I met him a number of times. I just thought he was a fascinating guy. So doing him is, you know, it's been like in the last 5 years. It's kind of changed my life. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
TV appearances and film and TV shows, and you know, it's been pretty incredible.
Why don't you pick up the guitar a little bit, and I'm going to invite Pat Cupo to come on over a little bit.
Come on over,
Since
Pat.
we've got time with you and we don't have to rush you out of here, I want to introduce our next guest. I'm going to slide. Yes,
Slide in here.
Bob, would you check the camera? See that we're all in the shot?
Yeah, a little closer.
Which way?
A little closer. I'm going to pull back a little.
Look close.
I'm going to pull
All right,
back a
pull
little
it
bit.
back a little bit.
There you
Watch
go.
the wine glass.
There you go.
I've got to get my
Watch
notes
the
here.
champagne glass.
I got it.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Now you're all in. But get a little
Sorry,
closer. A little tighter on Jonathan.
Actor, writer, producer, doorknob, cable, Pat Cupo. Give
Oh no,
it
that sounds like Trump. Woman, man, camera.
Right.
We need a little Vegas nonstop music. No, we need like a theme.
You should have a theme.
Yeah,
That's Sam Cooke having a party.
yeah.
We're having a party. Everybody's swinging, dancing to the music on the radio. We're having a party. Everybody's swinging.
Big Bob, Bordeaux Bob, call him what you will. I'll call him a friend.
Just don't call me
And
late
a
for
regular
dinner.
here.
Yeah.
So Pat and I met at the Italian American Club golf tournament, and he stole my golfing buddies away from me, but I still love them anyway. Vinny and Alan from the Bronx Wanderers, and so I said, you know, we've got to hang out a little bit and
Yep.
get to know each other.
Yep.
But you said John did Columbo, and I talked to Peter Falk once before through my friend Joe Mantegna, who you worked with also, and you said, I've got a great Peter Falk story. So let's
Quick,
Go right into it.
try to capsulize it as much as I can. So they tasked me to do Columbo. I called my father. My father says, listen to me. When you get on the set, tell Peter his best friend is my best friend. He hasn't talked to him in 7 years. So I got on the set and he introduced me to Peter, and Peter and I sit next to each other. And I said, Peter, I'm going to jog your memory. And he said, yeah, go ahead, what? And I said, my dad's best friend is your best friend, and I'm from Garfield, New Jersey originally. And Peter just went, oh my God, Riggsy, I can't believe it's Riggsy. Well, what happens is my father gave me Vincent Rigolosi's number in Garfield, set them both up. Peter finally called him after 7 years. They went to college together. And Vincent had lent him money all through college. He was his roommate. And Peter was so kind that I said, Pete, can you give me an autographed picture for my dad? He wants to put it downstairs in the bar. He said, don't worry, I'll send it right from my house. Give me your father's name, his address, and I'll do it directly from my house. Greatest guy in the world. Greatest guy in the world. And it was great working with Peter. You know, I loved him. I absolutely loved him.
And a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. His, you know, it was funny because at one part, there was one scene, I guess him and the director got into it. And you did not want to tell Peter Falk how to play Columbo.
Right.
That was, and I because we were in the scene together, I just walked away. And I said, when you guys are done, let me know, because I saw it coming.
And the people who saw him in Columbo, a lot of them don't know about the Cassavetes years.
Oh, no, they have no idea about
And then how
Cassavetes years.
he was just
Yeah.
the raw. I mean,
Yeah.
people talk about raw performances now. And people turn in these performances, but when you see him and those films, they were so raw.
Yeah.
They were so immediate. The emotions were so incredible.
Yeah, it's totally two different, because everybody relates to him as
Yeah.
Columbo for so many years. There's such an iconic character that he did.
Incredibly.
You know, so that's,
Yeah, there wouldn't be a monk without Columbo. There wouldn't be a lot
exactly.
of these.
Exactly.
Unique.
And it's funny you're talking about Vinny. I guess he just played a rerun of it, the one that I did. 11 o'clock, Carol, Vinny's wife, starts texting me. I'm trying to go to sleep. You're on Columbo. I'm watching you now. I go, great, Carol, I want to go to sleep. 10 minutes later. Oh my God, you look so young. When did you do this, Carol? I'm trying to go to sleep, Carol.
But you're on Columbo.
Yeah, I'm on Columbo for the
What I loved,
100th time.
and when I met him was through, again, actor Joe Mantegna,
Sure.
was that there was a whole kind of a collective group of actors that Peter Falk kind of like Charlie Durning, Gene Smart was
Yes.
another one.
Yes.
And they all supported each other, and they would do table readings in L.A.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
And-
In fact, before I ran into Joe, but I met Joe the first time was at a reading on a movie called Sharkskin that at Dan Perry's house, the director and producer. And then, being with Chas Palminteri, and I have been friends for 40 years. And Joe and I kind of started talking, yada, yada, and then when I hadn't seen him, went over to Criminal Minds and kind of, brought it all up again. And Joe's a great guy. Joe's a sweetheart.
and so happy that Criminal Minds is back in another
Yes, tell me
season.
about it. My closest friend of some 25 years, Glenn Kershaw, is the executive producer on it and also directs quite a few episodes.
And I think Joe's friend Vinny Gustafero's in it every once in a while.
Yeah.
How many seasons has Criminal Minds been?
Oh my God! It's just it's
12?
I cannot tell you the amount of residual checks that come to me. I was supposed to do 2 episodes. Did the first episode, was the last episode of that season, and I was supposed to come back for the second one. What they ended up doing was they pulled the New York cops out and they put FBI agents in. So I got cut out of the second episode. But the reality is the amount of residual checks that come from that show, it plays all over.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's really insane.
I'll always remember Joe introduced me to Joey Pants, Joe Pantaleone.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
he's great.
Ah, Joey.
And I would ask him, what do you like playing better, cops or criminals? And the answer is always, they always give me the same thing, criminals, because they have better wardrobe.
Yeah. Joey and I did The Handler together when he was doing on CBS, and I did two episodes. And a quick story about Joey and what he did to me. Movie, I don't know if you have it checked off there, called One Last Ride, which was my movie that I produced, wrote, starred in. It's me, Chas Palminteri, Charles Durning, Robert Davi. It's on YouTube, as a matter of fact. You can still see it on YouTube. Annabella Sciorra wanted to play my wife in it, and I wanted someone else to be in it. And Joey knew this, and I turned her down. So now I come to do the second episode of Joey's show on The Handler. I knock on the door. Joey, hey, Coop, come on in. We got to go to wardrobe right now and makeup. I go, I just got here, Joe. He goes, no, we got to go to wardrobe and makeup. I go, okay, great, let's go to wardrobe. He knew he did this to me. Opens the door. Who's sitting in the chair? Annabella Sciorra is sitting in the chair. He goes, Anna, look who's on the show with us tonight. And my face just went right down. I went, oh Jesus, I got to get out of this. But she was sweet. She understood. She understood the whole 9 yards of why. And she was a sweet girl. But yeah, that's Joey.
So, John, I had a cigar magazine back when cigars were all the rage, and I shot a cover of Joey Pants at the Grand Havana Room in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And Davi was there, and who turned out to be my neighbor, James Orr, was there. And Pants' wife just had a baby that day.
Yeah.
And Joey Pants is drinking vodka out of a tumbler. Out of a tumbler. He's drinking it, and James Orr comes in, who later turned out to be my neighbor. And James, I don't know if you ever worked with James, writer, director. He wrote Father of the Bride 2 and Look Who's Talking, and directed as well.
Right.
And Pants was there, and James Orr was a former girlfriend. His girlfriend was Farrah Fawcett. So they got into it, and Seymour Cassell was there. Seymour was part of that whole Peter Falk thing, right? And Seymour's writing James Orr about Farrah Fawcett, who allegedly James Orr bounced her head off of the driveway one day. And Pants is running around drinking tumblers like Chico Marx out of
Wait, he had just had a kid and he was drinking.
yeah, well, he's drinking out.
Wow. People who drink.
And we're the grand and I'm really not actor there. It's
I'll
like,
get to
you know,
that.
one of those you can't write it, and it was just so funny. And Seymour Cassell's going on and on. And
Seymour always goes on and on. I did Trouble Bound with Seymour and Patricia Arquette and Mike Madsen. And we finished it. I played Seymour's henchman. And we finished the set, and I'm coming out of my trailer, and I'm driving my car, and I see his car next to his trailer, and the trunk is open. And I'm looking, I'm saying, what the hell are you doing, Seymour? He's taking all the suits out of the trailer before anybody could see him, and he's throwing them in the trunk. He closes the trunk. The best one is, on this, picture time.
I'm listening.
The best one is, we go to a rap party.
Yeah.
I walk in, Seymour comes in after me. He has one of the suits on that he stole. I said,
my
Seymour,
God.
he goes, what are they going to do? Take it off of me? Screw him! That's Seymour.
He only knew it from the
God
Lord
bless
from the
him.
truck.
God bless him. Oh, yeah.
So I'm between two great actors here, and I'm going to talk about some of the films and television that you've done, Pat. And I'm going to put you on the spot and give you like a rapid fire. Like Kindred was last year.
Yes, that's playing right now on Prime. Kindread.
Horror
Catch it
movie?
on Prime.
Kindred.
Kindred. Dread. It's a thriller. It's a great movie. First time director, writer, and he did a phenomenal job. And the young boy that's in it with me, Ethan, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Watch it.
2009, Taking Woodstock.
Taking Woodstock. Ang Lee is my closest friend of 40 years.
Really?
Ang Lee and I was, and I'll give you a quick one on this, I was the lead actor in every Ang Lee NYU grad school film. We were casting for his thesis film. We were looking for someone to play my cousin. 2 days of auditioning, and who walks in? The last person, Chaz Palminteri.
Really?
Walks in, does an improv with me, leaves. I looked at Ang looked at me, and I said, that's it. And he said, that's it. And those two guys have been my closest friends of 40 years. Taking Woodstock, the author of the book came to me, Elliot. They wanted Ang to direct the film, and they couldn't get to him. And so what ended up happening was I'm the one that pushed that whole thing through. That's why I'm an associate producer on it, and also played the role of Charlie. Great film. Here's the biggest problem with that film. Because it took place in the 60s, they're casting for the girl. There's nudity in it, right? So in the 60s, pubic hairs were rampant. Well, when they cast and the girl showed up to play the 60s, they had no pubic hairs. So they had to go and make pubic hairs and paste it on them. Okay, so if you ever watch the movie, it's all fake, the pubic hair.
Right.
Did you know there's a name for that?
No, go for
It's
it.
called a mucket. I swear to God, my father and grandfather were going to go into the business of manufacturing muckets.
gee.
I swear to you, it's a real thing. I met Chaz.
The
with
real
Joe
disgusting thing is what it is.
Thank you, Big Bob. With Joe,
Yeah.
and he was doing a movie with Paul Reiser.
Yes, Chaz directed it. as a matter
Chaz
of
directed the movie.
Yes.
And that was across the street from where we are. Again, we're thank you to Peppermint Hippo here at Las Vegas Boulevard in Oakey. Across the street is a restaurant that's been there since the 60s called Dino's.
Dino's.
And they were shooting a
Famous.
movie
Yeah.
in Dino's.
Yeah.
And Chaz was directing, and Paul Reiser, and we caught up with them in L.A. My friend Marty and I, and Joe. That's when he told me a line that you as actors always know, that they're not paying you for the acting, they're paying you for the waiting.
The waiting.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, because you'll wait more than you'll act. That's no doubt.
So here you worked with one of my favorites, comedian Rodney Dangerfield.
Whoa, Rodney.
The fourth tenor.
The fourth tenor. Played Nunzio. I played the maitre d' of Rodney's Italian restaurant. And I got on the set the first day. Now, for those of you that don't know this, God bless Rodney, and I love them. He smoked more pot than everybody that went to Woodstock. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I get on the set the first day. We've got a scene. I'm at the head door there. Rodney's there. He's supposed to walk down to me, give me his lines, go back, and exit right. Camera comes to me. We do our dialogue. He goes down, exits left. Cut, Rodney, you got to go right. You went left. Oh, one day. Nuns. Never called me by Pat. Always by the character's name. Oh, Nuns. Didn't I go? I said, no, Rod, you got to go that way. All right. Oh, fuck it. Let's go. I got this. Come on. Let's go. 12 takes later, he finally went right. I called my wife and I said, listen, honey, don't wait up for me because I got a lot of overtime on this movie if Rodney keeps smoking dope. There's no doubt about it. But for those of you that don't know this, Rodney Dangerfield helped all those comedians, Jim Carrey, all of them. Yeah. None of the old timers wanted to put those guys on with them. He stuck them in his club in New York, in Dangerfield. Yeah. He's a sweetheart.
In 2 weeks, Dennis Blair's going to be on with us. Dennis wrote a book. Yeah. And Dennis opened for Rodney for a number of years, and then went on to open for George Carlin. And I always share this story, and anybody that knows Rodney will back up this story. Again, I had a cigar magazine called Jonathan Scott Cigar Smoker Magazine. I meet Rodney on the internet. His wife was selling a dozen long stem black roses. I said, Rodney, would you be on the cover of my Cigar Smoker Magazine? He said, hey, kid, I don't smoke cigars, but I'll hold one for you when you're able to.
Absolutely.
When you're in L.A., let me know. So I'm going to be in L.A. in a few weeks. I had a Chicago photographer named Johnny Marciniak out of the showroom. And I said, Johnny, he's going to his condo on Wilshire. And I knew I was in trouble as a Chicago kid when I get to the doorman. He says, you've got to go to the vestibule. I had no idea.
I got to go to church?
What's a vestibule? What's a vestibule? It was a private elevator up to Rodney's. Yep. You know where this is going.
Yep.
He opens the door, not a stitch of clothing on. And he looks up at me and he says, come on in, fellas. Are you shooting from the neck up or the neck down? I look at Marciniak. He looks at me. Neither one of us want to look at Rodney's shriveled up old wiener. We go in and he's got a bong on the table. His eyes are, it's 5 in the afternoon like road maps. And he says, cigars, And in my family, we had a tradition of giving out cigars when our babies was born the size of our penis. When my kids were born, I gave out cigarettes. So my kids were born, 4 guys gave me cigars. So we finished the interview. He gave me the bug outfit. He gave him great face, great interview. And he gave me some pictures to use in the magazine, and I send them back to him. And he calls my office, and Jonathan, meet Rodney. You know that picture of me and Ronald Reagan? I go, yeah. He says, I got it, but did you take the autograph off of the picture? I said, there was no autograph on it, Rodney. Why would I want to do that anyway? He said, okay, kid, take it easy. And that was the last time that I talked to Rodney. But notorious for walking down Wilshire Boulevard with his schlong hanging out in a robe and slippers.
There was a party before the film at the producer's house, and it was for the head guy at Motown. The old guy.
Marvin Gaye.
Barry
Gordon. I played Little League with his son. His Little League.
There you go.
Played Little League with his son.
So it was people that were doing the film, and we all went up to the producer's house on Mulholland. Rodney comes strolling in 4 hours after the party started with his bathrobe on and his slippers. Perfect, nothing underneath. And here comes Rodney. Hey, I'm finally here. Great, everybody's going home. But he was a great guy. Rodney was a sweetheart to work with.
Yeah, he started Sam Kinison.
Started everybody.
Roseanne, I think he started Roseanne as well.
Jim Carrey, he helped everybody out.
He really did, and he was who he was, I guess he wasn't he was 56 or something when he really got famous. And again, I'm reading Dennis Blair's book.
Johnny Carson gave him everything.
Yeah, Johnny Carson cracked the door.
Carson really did. Yeah, but who's character?
I think.
So what's the fourth tenor about? Is that what it is?
The fourth tenor about an hour and a half. No, fourth tenor is about Rodney owns an Italian restaurant, and he's in love with this opera singer that comes to the Italian restaurant to sing. But of course she's like 25 years old, wants nothing to do with him. And Davi is in love with her too. That's her boyfriend. And he now goes to take her away from Davi. Goes to Italy because she goes back to Italy, and he goes to Italy to take her away from Davi. It's actually a very funny movie. Very, very funny.
Did Dobby sing in the movie? Because I know he's a frustrated Sinatra singer.
Well, yeah, well, he goes out. He goes out.
Yeah.
I saw him not too long ago in concert with, believe it or not, Robert Davi with, and I love you, Bob, with Hall & Oates.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hell of a combo. You know what I mean?
That's
and Mike
an
McDonald.
unusual-
And Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald from the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Did you do Mike McDonald?
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald's the center for the Dallas Stars hockey.
Yeah, Mike McDonald. McDonald.
Keep forgetting.
We're doing Wilson Pickett next.
There you go. There
She
you go.
came from some back in
Wilson
the
Pickett.
So that's, but it's a very cute movie. It's really, really, really very, very funny.
You know,
What year was that shot?
That's a good question. He's got it
It
right
says
there.
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Yes, we shot that in
We're gonna
2002.
Google it and see where we can. I'd love to watch it.
He passed away, and I'll tell you one more quick one about Rodney. He lived on Wilshire Boulevard in Westwood.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, so you were at
Vestibule.
30 something floor.
Gold crowning all the way around.
30 something floor. So my wife and I, this is after I finished the film. My wife and I are watching
Say your wife's
TV.
name because she's watching.
Madeline. We've been married. We just celebrated 50 years.
Oh,
You think it's gonna last?
I probably. She's the only one that can put up with me. So that you know.
I have to mention my
She's
wife,
stuck.
Michelle Ross.
Michelle, yeah.
Michelle.
Wait, when did you get married?
No, we're not really married.
And I'll go one.
But hold on. If
We
you were,
call each other husband
all right.
and wife.
If
so.
you were with her for 50 years, how old will you be in 50 years?
Yeah. I'll go one better. We met
I will be
when she was
100.
14 and I was 15, so we've been together 55 years.
Oh,
Boom.
Um,
Bravo.
We're watching TV, and all of a sudden on the news, watching the news, it was his wife's birthday, and he bought her a hot tub.
Rodney's wife.
Rodney's wife. He bought her a hot tub. It is now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He had traffic stopped on Wilshire and Westwood at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden, here comes the helicopter with the hot tub hanging from the bottom of the helicopter, comes and drops it right on the balcony of the 33rd floor where he was up there, and the traffic was backed up for miles. And I said, only Rodney
Yeah,
knew that.
Rodney.
And his
You're right.
30-year-old blonde
Beautiful,
wife.
yeah, beautiful wife. I met his wife as well. She was selling a dozen roses. But
Yeah.
Rodney was the best.
Great guy. Great guy.
Killer Bud. Was that about marijuana?
That was, wow, you are so astute. I mean,
You could have had a friend and it was your Killer
don't
Bud.
nail that one, Jonathan. Yes,
2001. You played.
2001. Yes, I played a taxi driver. I played him as kind of Travis Bickle-ish, with David Faustino. Was on that.
Oh,
in
from-
the film. From
Irish Children.
Children's Children. Yes, and David, great guy. We kind of hit it off and became good
Now
friends.
I have to ask you about Star Trek.
Wow, you want to ask me about Star Trek? That was when I was done with Star Trek. I said to my agent, "Please do not ever ask me to go back there again."
Really?
It was 105. I've got polyester on. I'm wearing. I have prosthetics on my face, and in my dressing room, the air conditioner went down. And I said, "Okay, what would you like me to do now, guys?" I said, "So you got another place for me to go?" "Yeah, we do. It's all the way down there because we have no more dressing rooms on the set." And I would walk to the set, back and forth. They'd come and get me, back and forth, in 105
Was the
degrees.
makeup
With the-
breaking down?
Oh,
Was it
my God.
breaking
Oh, it
down?
was so itchy.
Because
It
I
was on
hate
my
when all
nose.
yeah.
Oh, it was all over my nose. It was horrible. The worst was the polyester. The costume.
Yeah.
It was just, I went, I'm done.
Was this one of the episodes that Tracy Torme, Mel Torme's son, wrote?
No, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another high school, another little league opponent of mine. Robbed him of a home run once.
Unbelievable. That's what happens when
Tracy
you're
from
6'10".
Yeah,
That's
6'8",
Sorry,
6'8",
Bob.
Donnie.
Sorry,
Remember
Bob.
the extra.
Strangers.
Thank
Who
you.
was in, I remember, who was in Perfect Strangers?
Perfect Strangers was Balky and that was the
Cousin.
the two cousins.
Oh, I love that.
Remember them?
That was great.
Yeah, but
That
I
was
don't.
great.
I remember who was in it.
Mark Lynn Baker was one, and and I was friends with him. I forgot his other
Yeah,
name.
he was in the Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, he was in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
That's how he got to Perfect Strangers.
Right.
And my very close friends, Judy Pioli and Paula Roth, were executive producers on
It was
this.
on for a few seasons.
That was on
Perfect
for quite a
Pretty
few
well.
seasons.
Yeah.
I still get
I went-
residuals.
yeah, when I-
Everything you're reading, the checks just keep
Pacer
on
Mortgage,
coming.
I got it.
Keep together.
Another one that you were in that was
Yes.
iconic was Who's the Boss with Tony
Who's the
Danza.
boss with Tony?
Oh,
That's a
wow.
good, interesting story.
Okay,
So
let's hear it.
Tony and I at that, and I put it back in. Had an earring in my ear back then. What was the year that I did that?
1988.
Wow.
The
I
fine
was a
year.
young- I was a youngster.
35 years ago.
I was a
Fine
youngster.
year.
For those of you keeping score at home.
So we're in rehearsals. It was like the third day, and Tony, we're standing around. There's like 3 or 4 of us, and Tony is making a comment about guys who wear earrings. And I looked at him. He's standing next to me. I said, "Hey, Tom, come on, give me a break, will you?" And he looks at my earring and he goes, "Well, I don't give a shit." I went, "Okay." So day comes, we're going to tape. I took the earring out, and I said, "Okay, Tom, if you're watching, Tony, what can I tell you?" So I pull in, he pulls in, we park actually almost next to one another. So I went over to him and I said, Tony, I want to tell you something. And he said, "What?" I said, I respect you, I love your show, I think you're fantastic in it, and I would never disrespect you to wear that earring when I came on that set. I just want you to know, it's at home, okay? All of a sudden I get a knock on my door, my dressing room door. "Come in." "Hi, Tony would like you to have this wonderful bottle of champagne for yourself." And we kind of
Classic.
became,
Classic.
I have to ask you, because as actors go, I think we all are amazed by Judith Light. She's had this incredible theater career,
Yeah.
film career.
Yeah.
She's done everything. Transparent, her performance. What was she like?
She was sweetest of the sweetest. She was a perfectionist.
Yes, I sensed that.
Everything had to be just so. Everything had to be just so. And I forget her name, my wife remembers her name, the older woman that was on the show.
Oh yes.
Kathy.
Oh yes, Catherine.
Catherine.
Yes, with an
She
H. She came from Soap.
She was the sweetheart of sweetheart.
Hellman.
Catherine Hellman.
Oh,
Yeah.
She was, God rest her soul, she was delightful. My wife came backstage. They had chatting. She was fantastic. She was a sweetheart. And yes, Light was very, very.
Yeah, I mean,
Judy
I've
was
seen her on stage in New York,
Yep.
and you're like,
Yep.
this woman is
Yep.
so precise
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
great technical
Big time.
actress.
Big time. Big time.
Cagney and Lacey.
Cagney and Lacey, my first gig when I got to Los Angeles in 1984.
Wow.
Was my first one.
Yeah. What was James Cagney like?
Well, James Cagney, he was good. He was really good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I couldn't believe you wore lace. I was
Yeah, it was actually my first gig that I got when I got here in '85, and I was doing at the same time I was doing a play by the name of Hard Laughs at the Santa Monica Playhouse. Was the life of Sammy Shore, and Sammy had written a book called Hard Laughs. Gary Cott wrote the play, who became the executive producer of Cosby, and Ron Palillo played Sammy. Sammy played his father. And I played, because Sammy and Shecky Green, back in the day, were like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And so I played in the first act with Ron, I played Shecky Green. Second act took place at the Comedy Store, so I came up with my own stand-up comedian, kind of a Gallagher, Robin Williams, kind of tied together. Well, everybody and their mother came to the show, opening night. I mean, Tony Orlando comes to the show, after the show, comes over to me, "Yeah, well, fantastic. Come here." Gives me a big wet one right on my mouth.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I love Tony. I just ran into him in Vinny's show. But Milton was there talking about,
Milton Berle.
yes, Milton Berle, Uncle Milty. So I came out, and Milty goes, "Hey, kid, come here." And I go, "Yeah, what's up, Uncle Milt?" He goes, "I didn't say this, but you're a better fucking Shecky than Shecky was." Cut to, I'm in Vegas. I just moved here 5 years ago, right? 4 years ago, I'm at Green Valley, and I'm in the pizza place at Green Valley. And I sit down at the counter, and I hear this voice off of the side of me. And I'm going, "No, can't be." And I turned, and I went, "Holy shit." And I went over to him, and I went, "You remember me?" And he just looked at me, and I said, "Sammy Shore's play." It was Shecky Green.
Yeah, who lives here in Las
Yeah,
Vegas? He's
yeah,
about
he's like
94
He's
now.
still alive? Oh, yeah, he was
Yeah.
90, 92, 91, 92.
Wow.
And you know what? The son of a gun. "I remember you, you son of a bitch. God, you think you were as good as me? You weren't as good as me. I don't care what anybody says." And, we hugged and everything. And I couldn't believe he remembered me. It was like, Jesus. He was 91, 92 years old.
What a
So for you kids at home, I think we have to make some reference points. Sammy Shore was married to Mitzi Shore. They had the Comedy Store in Los Angeles.
And their son
They
is.
had Polly Shore.
Who also lives here.
They had
Paulie.
Paulie.
Loves, big fan. You can always find him at Sparrow and Wolf.
Yes, and Sammy.
And his band plays at the Sand Dollar sometimes.
Sammy was really the one that created the Comedy Store.
Yes.
What happened was when he got divorced, and I always called him a schmuck for it. When he got divorced, he just handed it to Mitzi,
Right.
gave it to him in divorce. I said, "Why would you do that?" He goes, "I don't want to be bothered. I got to go through this bullshit. I don't want to be bothered."
But Mitzi becomes this gatekeeper for
Diva.
Oh, yeah, diva.
absolute.
Are you
I
kidding?
mean,
Oh, yeah.
stopped careers,
Yeah.
enhanced careers.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's either a 4 or 5 part series on,
Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix,
Oh, I got stories for that one.
on the Comedy Store and Mitzi Shore.
Yeah, Mitzi.
I got Shaky
On
Green
Mitzi,
stories
Mitzi
too.
Well, you want to tell one now? Come on over and tell. You got a story?
I just got a story. Seymour Heller was his agent, who was
Right.
also Liberace's agent, and David Heller and Bruce Heller, who met. David was my best friend; he just passed away. Drummer in my first band, and they would come around the house, and my mom said, "Oh, did you see Liberace?" She says, "Well, there's this guy Uncle Lee that they call him Uncle Lee. He's very flamboyant. I think he's gay, Ma. I think he's queer." She says, "No, he's just flamboyant. He's just flamboyant." And they both played. Shecky Green and Liberace played at David's bar mitzvah at the
Oh,
Friars
wow.
Club.
Oh, wow.
That's a bar
That's
mitzvah.
the Friars Club.
So
That's a bar
The Friars
mitzvah.
Club in Beverly
I
Hills.
smoked my
Most
first cigar and I puked.
So most people know the famous story about how Frank Sinatra saved Shecky Green's life. Where some wise guys were kicking the crap out of Shecky in an alley, and Frank walked over and said, "Okay, he's had enough."
Yeah, leave him alone.
He's had.
Very
he's
kind. That's
had
But
enough.
he's still going. He's still kicking. He's 94.
I got it. See, that's
it's
great.
funny you said something. You texted me last night, and the internet is just mind-boggling sometimes. The shit that they put out there. So you text me and asked me if I was in a Chevy Chase movie called Bad Meat.
Yeah.
Right? Okay? Which I wasn't, but it's on the internet. Yeah. Okay. Wait, my wife, I go to sleep one night. My wife goes, "I'm not tired. I'm going to stay up, watch TV." Okay. So I get up the next morning. She goes, "So I got to tell you something." I said, "What?" She goes, "So I'm watching Turner Classics last night." I said, "Yeah." And I went on TurnerClassics.com. And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "I just want you to know you're dead." And I went, "What do you mean I'm dead? What are you talking about?" She goes, "Go on TurnerClassics.com and bring your name up." So I go on TurnerClassics.com, and it says, Pat Cupo was a successful Hollywood actor, and it names all the shit that I did like I'm dead and I'm not here anymore, including the stuff I've been doing in Las Vegas. And I went, why am I dead? I was a successful actor, I'm dead. So I went golfing with Vinny. And I said, "Vinny, you know I'm dead on Turner Classics?" He goes, "What are you talking about?" So I told him. He goes, "Well, you could be like Jesus. Call them up. They'll resurrect you."
So that's my only IMDb credit is the movie Bad Meat that was with Chevy Chase and the guys that wrote The Onion.
Yeah.
Chevy loved them, and they asked me if they could film it at my house in Illinois, and I got associate producer credit for letting them use my house. Never saw a
I was going to
dime.
say, you must be rich, Ronnie.
Never
no?
saw a dime.
Oh,
Nobody's ever
geez,
seen
how
the
is
movie.
that?
Say hi to Madeline Ariota Cupo. She says
Yeah.
fun stories enjoying the show.
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you for lending
Madeline.
us
There you go.
your husband.
My one fan.
You've got a
Yes.
movie coming out now. No, you had a bunch of people actually jump on
Yes.
and said hi to you on my Facebook.
Yes. Kindred is playing right now. I started another movie next week, as a matter of fact, in Vegas. I have 2 more movies to do in Vegas. Called Ruthless, which I play. That's why
More
the
checks,
mustache-
more checks, more checks.
Yes, yeah. That's why the mustache is on me. I play a detective, a la alcoholic, kind of over-the-top Columbo. All right, let me put it to you that way.
Yeah.
And then I do another movie, which I'm really looking forward to. It's called The Man Across the Street, where I will play a serial killer. Yeah, which is a really heavy script. Good script, great script.
We love our serial killers.
Yes.
Scotty, how about you? What do you got coming up?
I can do
I will be at the Italian American Club this
Hey.
coming Thursday, and then I'll be back on the road doing my corporate, and I'll be back on Howard Stern show doing Trump. They don't like me to give the dates, but I'll be back on.
Back on with Stern, and you can see him in corporate events all over America. And if you wanna, don't you do the birthday stuff? What's it
Oh,
called?
cameo. Yeah, I do cameo.
As Trump or Austin or Dr. Phil.
I've done
Or,
1,600 cameos, and they kept me alive during COVID.
I want to thank you both. I'm gonna swing the camera around to Big Bob.
No. You guys just sing. We're doing the #1 R&B song from 1965 by Wilson Pickett. You all know it.
I didn't put the camera on you.
Yeah.
Not on me.
You guys sing.
Thanks for watching. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout. Thank you to our technical team.
We're going to do I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour.
That's what my
There's
love.
no one else around. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. When my love comes tumbling down. You're the only girl I know who really loves me so. When the midnight hour.
Yes. Yes.
Like us and share us. Sharing is caring. As always, eat well and party hard, my friends.
Happy
Next
New Year.
week, Peppermint Hippo on Vegas Boulevard and Okie for the Hippo Happy Hour. Jonathan Scott, again, eat well and party hard, my friends. Come and push the button. Come and push the button on there that says
Push
finish.
the button.
Push the button.
Oh, wait a minute.
The one that says done. Peace.